craves and demands that your next fight is David Benavidez. You open the door.
Stephen A. Smith, famous for his outspoken and fearless opinions, has issued a clear warning directly aimed at boxing superstar Canelo Alvarez, instantly drawing attention and fueling conversation among fans.
And I'm like, yo, you that dude. You that dude. Why are you not fighting? It'll be one thing to avoid it for a fight or two. But when you are literally cherry picking one after another, numerous fights where you are passing up David Benavidez, it is a travesty. It is a travesty that that fight has not happened. David Benavidez deserves the shot at the crown, at the giant. He deserves that shot.
Stephen A. Smith says his warning centers on the undefeated pressure fighter known as the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez, stressing that this is far more than just another possible fight for Canelo. According to Smith, this matchup has the power to define a career or seriously disrupt it, and he strongly dismisses any attempt to downplay the danger, repeatedly calling that thinking complete nonsense.
Anybody who knows boxing, everybody who watches boxing knows that David Benavidez is the real deal. Now, that doesn't mean he'd beat you, because anybody could fall if you catch him right. We know who you are, Canelo. You big time. But you getting ready to fight. Mengoa, look, you are elite. You are big time. No doubt about that. But it is clear with what you're saying that you are ducking Benavidez. Not because you haven't fight him, but because of the words that you're using. He's nothing. You know better. Fight that man. David Benavidez deserves that. Anybody who respects boxing knows he should be the man in the ring going.
For nearly a decade, Canelo was seen as an unbeatable force, but that powerful image was suddenly broken when he finally suffered defeat. The loss sent shockwaves across the boxing world and showed everyone that smart technique and skill can overcome size and strength.
Canelo, you lost to Floyd.
You did. You
lost to Bivol. I don't care anyone says you lost to Golovkin. You lost to Terence Crawford. So you've lost to
the elite.
The elite.
I think it shows that Canelo is the elite.
Yeah.
But he's not the special elite.
Okay.
I think we can use that word because there's elite. Because Canelo Alvarez is elite. You can be world level, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're fighting Canelo with different.
Yeah.
But then there's the special elite.
Yeah.
There's the where you look at them and you think, I'm watching something special in Canelo, but I'm watching something very special in Floyd, Golovkin, Terence Crawford, and Bivol, our guy. Yeah. That just shows how good Beterbiev is as well. We got two special fighters at 175.
Yeah. No, for real. I don't think it hinders Canelo as much.
I don't think it does.
But in terms of, I guess there was a conversation about is he the greatest Mexican? I think that's Chavez now.
Yes.
I think that's
in the process. Crawford didn't just elevate his own legacy. He also revealed what may be the most serious weakness in Canelo's entire career.
Okay, from Canelo is that when you move to his weak side, there's exposure on that side from him. Okay, when you get around to the weak side, meaning his lead hand side, okay, he has to turn all the way around, and it takes him some time because of his footwork. Okay, his footwork isn't the greatest. Crawford will be able to take advantage of those moments. But as the fight continues, I'm telling you right now, Crawford will start to mount an attack if he's still there. If he's still there after 4 damn rounds.
You know, that's saying something. Tim Bradley, that is saying something. If he's still there. Does Tim actually believe that Canelo has that amount of power or the difference of weight to take out Crawford in 4 rounds? I don't think so. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But if he's still there, Timothy Bradley, that's a lot. That's saying a lot.
He will start to mount an attack. He will. And we know that later on, we know that Canelo starts to fade late. Okay. And the indication of frustration from Canelo Alvarez is when he starts to drop both hands. When he stops getting out of that, when he stops using that high guard. Okay. That's one indication when Canelo is like, okay, this isn't working. All right, let me try something else. Let me drop my hands. Let me see if I can get this guy to throw shots at me or something to change things up. Another indication that things are not going nowhere. If you see Canelo not well, you see Canelo sit along the ropes and he'll fight Crawford in. Okay. If it ever gets to that point right there, then you know that Crawford is doing a damn good job. But for the time being, Crawford's going to have to let those damn hands go.
We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do. Right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out.
After the fight, analysts agreed that Crawford had laid out a clear game plan to beat the champion, showing it wasn't about brute strength but constant speed, smart movement, and a sharp jab that kept Canelo off balance and out of rhythm from start to finish.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy.
He just played with Canelo, made him look silly. And before you start with your shit about Canelo being old, just know that Crawford is older.
I'm too old.
The strategy exposed how vulnerable Canelo can be when faced with a fast, high-tempo style, and while the world celebrated Crawford's historic victory, one observer quietly watched on, knowing their long-held view had just been proven right.
Ducking Benavidez. I don't know if y'all heard, but y'all see all the money he got offered for that shit. Like, he got offered a lot of money for that fight.
How much? I heard it was something like a 90-10 split.
Yeah, it was like Benavidez would take $5 million and he'd get like 40 to, I don't know if it was 40 or 80 million. It was something crazy though. But you turn that down and, bro, 5 million to what you, I'm gonna say it's 40 million, right? You taking 40 and he getting 5 and you don't want to fight him, you're fucking scared. I don't care what nobody's saying, like, you're fucking scared. Because even if I know I'm gonna lose, if in my head I know the dude could beat me, I'm getting 50 mil for this fight. Oh, I've been on top for a long time already. I'm not getting no younger. Take the fucking fight, make it, you feel me? Fight. That's what you're doing this shit for.
David Benavidez represents a very different challenge, matching Crawford's hand speed while bringing non-stop pressure and physical strength that only a fighter of his size can impose.
You know, I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie, because I've been a fan of Canelo since I was a kid. So my heart, a tear almost came on my I ain't gonna lie, because it felt like, you know, that Canelo is done. But I just think he was a little off that night. I think he can, you know, make a big comeback. But to Crawford, man, he's the greatest of this era. You got to give it to him. Greatest of this era. Nobody's ever done that before. 3-time undisputed. So you got to take your hats off to Crawford. And I was just shocked that he was able to just dismantle Canelo like that, you know, even with the size difference. That just goes to show size doesn't win fights.
I'm a huge David Benavidez fan. I love Canelo as well, but I don't like the fact that Canelo has taken so long to give him a match. And I just applaud David Benavidez because he ducks no one. Watch yourself. I just applaud the fact that he ducks no one. And, he's ready to fight at all times. He is the Mexican monster. Sometimes I'm wondering, is somebody going to hurt him because he's right there in front of them. He doesn't move, but he clearly shows he can take a punch and he can damn sure give one with either hand. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got boxing ability, he's got heart. And I don't know if there's a bigger fan of David Benavidez than me. I really I got a lot of love for his.
Same approach Crawford used with skill is one Benavidez could apply with sheer power, attacking the same openings but with fight-ending force. For years, David Benavidez has been the threat waiting in the background. The opponent Canelo chose not to face, an undefeated 2-time champion in Canelo's own division who has been consistently overlooked despite his physical dominance.
Benavidez is that. Look, I'm going to be the first one to ever call this person out. I want to fight Benavidez.
Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, I want to fight Benavidez.
You're crazy, dude.
No.
Which Benavidez?
David.
Jose?
David. I want to fight David Benavidez.
What?
Yeah, bro. Mexican monster, man. They call me the boogeyman over here.
You're not serious, obviously.
I'm being serious.
You're being serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to move up to, you want to move up to light heavyweight to fight David Benavidez?
Yeah. Well, you think he can still make 68?
David at 168? Yeah. So that, okay, now we're starting to formulate things. So you want him to come to 68
yeah.
And you'll go to 68.
Yeah, I'll go 60. I'll fight him at 68.
Yeah.
I want to fight the Mexican monster. Boo. Scary face. Rawr.
Canelo's loss to a smaller opponent became the strongest proof for Benavidez and his team, confirming what they had argued for years. It showed that Canelo wasn't beaten by size but by speed, fueling questions about how he would handle a relentless pressure fighter with Benavidez's strength and power at 168 pounds.
He's hiding. You can't find him. So if somebody sees Canelo, let them know that, they send him an email and they give him the biggest offer of his life. So we're here waiting to see if he wants to make it happen with the person that he said that hasn't fought nobody. He has not done anything in boxing. It should be an easy fight. Why not take all that money? But I'm guessing he's going to go the easy route. He's going to probably fight Berlanga, McGregor or something like that. So, man, that's a disgrace, for boxing. It's embarrassing, when he said that David hasn't fought nobody and then he's going to fight Berlanga, that he got let go from Top Rank because they were losing money on him and they didn't really see a big future.
No one emphasized this reality more forcefully than Stephen A. Smith, who made the argument loud and clear.
These fights. And I want the boxing community, because y'all cover it more than me. You cover it better than me because you live it and breathe it and eat it every day. Could you help a brother out? How much help can I give y'all to help put pressure on these promoters to give us the damn fights we want to see? I want Canelo versus Benavidez. I don't want Benavidez fighting Benavidez. I want him fighting his natural weight class, super middleweight, against Saul Canelo Alvarez. That is the fight we should all be demanding. That brother has earned a shot. And I understand Canelo, the businessman. He's like, he had to go through a lot and had to fight through everybody before he got on the top of the mountain where he could dictate terms. I totally understand that. And I'm not throwing no shade on Canelo. I'm just saying we want to see this fight, especially if Benavidez handles his business this weekend. Canelo, we deserve.
4 years, many brushed off his comments as media talk, but Stephen A. Smith consistently said on national TV that Canelo avoiding Benavidez would eventually backfire. He warned that choosing smaller, safer opponents while ignoring the biggest threat in the division was a risky move, and after Crawford's fight, those earlier warnings now look fully justified.
That pissed me off, contrary to what you would normally believe. But I love the sport of boxing. And I got to tell you, I'm so disgusted. They're just rumors that Canelo Alvarez, Saul Canelo Alvarez, is talking about fighting the bigger Charlo this time around, Jamal Charlo, the natural 168 pounder, okay? I'm like, what about David Benavidez, the natural super middleweight, who's 28-0 with 24 knockouts, who's been begging for Canelo to get into the ring with him? It really...
His comments quickly turned into a blunt critique as he argued that the loss stemmed from Canelo's own arrogance and his decision to avoid the fight fans demanded. According to Stephen A. Smith, the warning had been clear, it was ignored, and now the consequences were obvious to everyone. Appearing on national television, his frustration was impossible to miss, stressing that this was not casual boxing talk but a direct public call-out, highlighted by his admission that he was genuinely angry, all delivered on ESPN's flagship show, First Take.
It's driving me crazy about boxing. Canelo Alvarez, where's the fight against David Benavidez? Love Canelo. I want to see him fight David Benavidez. I don't want to see him fighting Munguia. I don't want to see him fighting an undersized Charlo. I don't want to hear about Terrence Crawford moving up, not one, not two, but 3 weight classes to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. I want the fights that we want to see when we want to see him. You're the super middleweight champion of the world at 168 pounds. The fights that we want to see. I think that Canelo should fight David Benavidez or Jamal Charlo. Okay, now Charlo might be a little bit too small for him since he moved up to light heavyweight to do this fight. And I don't see him fighting too much at the super middleweight division, but I'm tired of this guy being unblemished in his career and these big fights Charlo is not getting. He deserves them. He should have them if he wants them, even if I wouldn't pick him against Canelo. He deserves the shot if that's what he wants. But this kid, David Benavidez, is special. And if there's a person that has earned the right to be in the ring against Canelo Alvarez, which would be absolutely positively box office, that would be a fight everybody would want to see. There is no reason.
Would First Take go?
For him. Hell yes.
Okay.
I'd want to go there. For Benavidez, Benavidez is the real deal. I love Benavidez, and I want to see, and he deserves a fight of this magnitude.
The platform pushed the discussion beyond hardcore boxing fans and into the mainstream, placing Canelo's legacy under a bright spotlight. Stephen A. Smith viewed the avoidance as disrespectful to the sport, arguing that Benavidez had earned his chance and that this was the one fight that truly mattered for boxing's credibility.
And demands that your next fight is David Benavidez. You open to doing that?
We'll see. Why not? If the money is correct, why not? I can fight him Saturday night too.
Saturday night too. So you think you think you'll beat him up too? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I beat that guy. If the money is the money, is that correct? I fight that guy and I beat that guy the same night.
As Smith dominated media headlines, an even stronger reaction came from Benavidez's own camp, with his father and trainer, Jose Benavidez Sr., speaking openly and relentlessly in interview after interview.
Hi, people want that fight. Everywhere you go, they see Canelo, they ask him about the Mexican Monster. Everywhere I go, they ask me about Canelo. They want to see that fight. So that name of David Benavidez, he's not going to be able to go to sleep until he fights David Benavidez. And that's a little thing that he just needs to take care of in order to make history. And if he doesn't do that, there's always going to be that doubt.
Like, he came to watch me, the fight and shit. And then they're like, oh, you think he's... In my head, I'm like, what do you think Eddie Reynoso's thinking about? He's, are we going to fight David Benavidez after seeing this fight? In his head, Eddie Reynoso's like, fuck no, we're not fighting him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, honestly, I don't blame Canelo. It's fucked up because there's a lot of money.
It's not even about the money. It's not about the money.
Yeah, but okay, 100 million, dude. You think you kidding me?
The first step, when you're a fucking warrior, bro, the only thing you think about is glory. I've never thought about money. I've been smart. I'm negotiating my shit. But it's always a prize, bro. It's always, go out there and beat Canelo, bro, I'm a legend. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna live forever in boxing as a legend. That means way more to me than any type of money.
And I think that separates you too, David. And I admire that shit about you. I was like that at one point. Now how much you give me?
Yeah. and not to just bypass him. Shout out to Morel as well.
Yeah, shout out to him.
While David stayed calm and respectful, his father stepped forward aggressively, openly accusing Canelo of being afraid and avoiding a loss he believed was guaranteed. He claimed Canelo knows his son is too big, too strong, and would overwhelm him, and those blunt attacks quickly turned media talk into a heated feud, adding pressure that Canelo could no longer ignore.
It's a corner now where he's running out of excuses. He said that the only thing I bring is 25 extra pounds, and I'm not worth nothing, but he's asking 200 million, and now he's gonna fight me in the same night. It's just stupid, bro. Like, you just tell the people you don't want to fight me.
Do you think, like, you know, his hunger is dissipating? You know,
I don't know. I can't talk to you about what his hunger is, or how his training is, or how he feels. I can only speak to you about myself, but for me, it looks like fear. It looks like fear.
Canelo's loss sent shockwaves through the entire division, as the 168-pound weight class he had controlled for years was suddenly topped by a fighter who had moved up from 147.
It was a great counter, but at the same time, Canelo being great as he is, he was actually rolling with the shot and anticipating me coming back with a right hook. When you see him roll and then kind of roll the other way, he was anticipating me throwing another shot. It was a great shot, but it was great awareness by Canelo.
With Canelo suddenly stripped of his belts, the division opened up in a dramatic and unpredictable way for David Benavidez, forcing a tough but fascinating choice. He now had to decide whether to chase the new ruler, Terence Crawford, to win the titles, or ignore the belts altogether and pursue Canelo in a fight focused more on beating the name than claiming a championship.
David, especially and particularly in your position, the fact that, you know, let's call it pink elephant in the room. Canelo, he doesn't want to fight you.
Yeah, bro, it's a little hard, you know, because obviously this is a fight that everybody wants to see. It's the biggest fight in boxing, in my opinion, right now. But it sucks when a guy, as Canelo says, that he's the king, he can do whatever he wants. He's basically holding the belt hostage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, king or prima donna.
Yeah.
This turmoil sets the perfect scenario, as Terence Crawford, being smaller, has little incentive to remain at 168 and defend titles against a dangerous force like Benavidez, making it far more likely he vacates the belts and returns to a more natural weight. Once that happens, the super middleweight titles will be wide open, and at that point, the only fight that can truly settle the division and crown a real champion is the matchup fans have demanded for years. With or without belts, everything leads directly to a clash between Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez, leaving Canelo with no clear alternatives, a situation made even more complex by his existing contract with PBC.
Being with PBC, Ronald Heimonter, I think he got a lot of fighters here, and they train me really good, and I'm happy to be.
With just one fight left on his contract, the opportunity is running out, and if Canelo plans to face Benavidez under the same promotion, the time to move is now.
Contracts is more of years or more of fights?
Depends on the contract. Look at what Canelo is doing. We're hearing that he's signing a three fight contract with PBC. There's no time limit on those 3 fights.
Okay.
If he get injured in his first fight, he can still fight. He can't fight in 2 years. He can't fight under another banner because he's still got 2 fights left.
Fans have demanded a Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez fight for years, especially on major Mexican boxing dates like Cinco de Mayo and Independence Day, and Benavidez has earned that shot by beating elite names such as Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade while holding the WBC interim super middleweight title. Despite this, Canelo avoided the matchup, but now everything has changed as his undisputed reign is over and his promotional deal is nearly finished, leaving him with fewer options than ever. After the loss, Canelo showed respect at the press conference and gave Crawford full credit, but the image of invincibility is gone, and he now faces a defining moment in his career where legacy matters more than records or belts. Safe fights are no longer acceptable, and to restore his status, he must either take a massive rematch with Crawford or finally face the threat he avoided for years in Benavidez. This is no longer just another challenge, it is the only path forward, especially with the massive payday Canelo once demanded now off the table, removing all leverage and making the fight unavoidable as the stakes reset around redemption for a fallen champion.